remember when we talked about this 168 vehicle world history pileup that happened, and people are like, they're going to blame it on a truck driver. They're going to blame it on a truck driver. And I was like, you know what? Let's wait for the investigation. Well, it looks like they blamed it on a truck driver. Let's get into today's video. Having your CDL is like so much responsibility. If you're not in the trucking game, you wouldn't even understand. I mean, it's at the point where if you do something wrong in your car, you still get points for when you're trucking, if that makes any sense to you. So just know that, man, when I say the responsibility is crazy, if you're thinking about if you're in an accident, that potentially could be criminal charges. And I'm stating this because they just seemed to pin that 168 vehicle pileup in Louisiana back on October 23rd. And we covered this on a truck driver. Looks like that they're blaming all this so far on him. You know, it states here, Louisiana truck driver has been charged with negligent homicide for his role in a crash last year that killed a Missouri man. You know, the crash was one of several that killed 8 people. Now, he was driving a Freightliner, 80,000 pound truck, 60 miles per hour. And basically, in front of him was a man named James Fleming, 60 years old, that he crashed into. And James had his wife that was 69 years old, Barbara Fleming, and she had severe injuries, but she survived. Now, the reason why James even stopped in the road and couldn't move over or do anything is because in the front of James, there were other cars that were in crashes as well. You can hear this in this police audio right here.
He was just driving too fast for the condition. Mr. Fleming had not been involved in a crash. He was able to safely stop before reaching the vehicles that had been in minor crashes.
So my question is, if there were accidents ahead, why is this truck driver right here, Ronald Brett, the only one so far being charged, and for criminal charges that is, and seem to be taking the blame for this 168 vehicle pileup? You know, was he the actual one that started it? He was not. I'm not saying he's right. I'm just saying that there were more people involved. Why do they go after the truck driver?
Loyola law professor Dane Cialino says it's unusual to see criminal charges brought in a horrific accident like this.
Perhaps if the driver was texting or drinking or sleeping when he knew he should have stopped driving, maybe then you might expect to see some charges like this. 99% of all of the car crash court litigation is civil. Other than drunken driving type cases, you don't really see criminal charges arising out of traffic accidents.
You know, Mutha Truckers, comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts about this are. But I just want to give you guys this information because we talked about this. This was like one of the biggest pileups of history in Louisiana. And I'm telling you right now, you know, of course, people are talking about CB radios. People are talking about if there's super fog, why didn't the state shut down that bridge? And I looked it up. They only shut down if it's a crazy snowstorm or ice. But if it's fog and you can't see 5 seconds in front of you or 2 feet in front of you, then they don't shut it down. So I'm not saying that Ronald Brett was in the right. I'm just saying that there was a lot of people in the wrong. And it looks like they're pinning the tail on the truck driver. You know, Mutha Truckers, comment down below what your thoughts about all of this. But just want to give you this information here so that you guys have it. And just know that if you have a CDL, you are a truck driver, man, it's a lot of risk out here. And so protect it with your life. You know, Mutha Truckers, comment down below. Mutha Truckers, welcome to Mutha Trucker News. We're here live at the Florida Trucking Show. Had a buddy, you know, we made some friends on LinkedIn. And we're just texting, messaging back and forth. And he just came by to say hi. But, you know, me being who I am, I was like, maybe we can learn a little bit about him. You know, we're interviewing people and trying to get some education. You know, introduce yourself, brother.
Sure. My name is Matt. I'm from Right Load. As Alex said, I just stopped by here just to say thank you. Alex is, I was listening to the other guy here from the truck parking. He's absolutely 100% correct. This guy is the real deal.
Oh, come on.
Very good dude. Him and I were conversing back and forth on LinkedIn a couple weeks ago, whatever it was. Offered an enormous amount of tips and help. and that just made me want to come out and say hello to you in person. I mean, you know, this
that's
is just
great,
an
man.
extra, but I thought it was very cool for you to take that time with me the other day. So
No, hey, I appreciate that, brother.
man.
Yeah. So, I mean, how long you been in the industry? What you do?
So Right Load is kind of a unique bird. I started this going on 11 years ago, and we built a load board, not much unlike or uncommon than a lot of the other load boards. The only difference is we do not allow freight brokers or 3PLs to post.
Really?
Yeah.
So this is direct.
This is 100% only shippers are allowed to post their freight on the board. They're literally connecting and contracting. The carriers are contracting from the very, very beginning directly with the shippers through our platform. There's a lot of additional benefits that we've built in. We partnered up with a company called CoreCentric. Fantastic partnership. And they're our banking partner. So every load that gets posted on the board is guaranteed pay within 2 business days. It's not factoring. There's no extra charges. Drivers are covered under a $500,000 OCAC insurance coverage from the time they pick up to the time they deliver one of our loads. Roadside assistance, life insurance. I mean, there's an enormous amount of things, but the real big key here is I've been a firm believer that this industry has needed some really significant changes.
Yeah.
And, you know, everybody thinks that I'm bashing the freight brokers and things of that nature, and that's not it at all. You know, there was horse and buggies, and then there were cars.
Right.
You know what I mean? The car manufacturers didn't take the time to bash the horse and buggy people to get a leg up. You know what I mean? They just created a better product. You know? So, and that's really, there's a lot. I mean, not that the brokers are going to be extinct or anything, but the reality is that no other technology platform was ever really truly built for the only 2 entities that actually have to work together. I mean, and that's just a fact, okay? The shipper and the carrier. They're the only 2 that really absolutely have to work together. Everybody else has become ancillary. Technology is now making that a real possibility in real time, and that's what Right Load is. We built Right Load as a platform that allows the shippers and the truck drivers to be able to connect, contract, and work together in real time with a lot less nonsense and a lot less BS that happens on a regular basis. And, you know, again, that's not shooting anyone else in the foot. This is just progress. In my eyes, this is just progress. So.
No, I love that. You know, would you know how many people are using Right Load right now?
Yeah, it's a low number.
No, that's fine. Maybe that's why we're promoting it, right?
So when we launched, you know, this is not my first go around. We launched before, and we were moving freight, but I was missing a couple of pieces, and I knew they were missing, and I thought I would be able to kind of push through it. I could see that it was kludgy. I could see that we were stumbling.
Yeah.
So when COVID came around, it was really a good time for me to kind of put the pause button on, hit the brakes, and really address those pieces that were missing. And that's what we did. We actually toured the entire system to the ground, rebuilt all of the technology from ground up, rebuilt all of the mobile apps in about a little over a 3-year period, completely revamped it. So, sorry, long-winded, but to answer your question is, we had a couple 100,000 trucks in the system before. Because we added all new features, it was easier for us, don't shoot me for saying this, but it was easier for us to tell all of those trucks, look, we kind of have to kick you out, and you got to come back in again and re-sign back in, because re-signing you back in automatically connects you with all those things I was just talking about. And for me to get everybody to go back and sign up individually would have taken me forever and cost me 5 times the amount of money to get it done.
So you're rebuilding. You know, I would say this. You know, I'm a big advocate for truck drivers. Truck drivers always complain about, hey, you know, the middleman's taking a little bit too much money out of this. Well, here's a man right here that has, you know, a business model and strategy that would help that concern that you have. Say, hey, I would say, check it out. I'm not sponsored by it. See if you like it, and hey, connect directly to the shipper, right?
Yeah. Again, like I said, it's we're growing. It's going to take us a little bit of time. One of the things that you know, I think is super important for anybody that's going to take into consideration signing up is realistically understand that we're a newer company, so you're not going to sign on, and we're not going to become DAT where we've got, you know, tens or hundreds of thousands of loads on there right out of the gate. Understand we're going to, you know, it's going to take us a little bit of time to grow, But as we do grow, and we are getting more and more, and I mean from smaller shippers that are moving, 2-3 loads a week, all the way up to some of these shippers that are now taking a look at us are enterprise-size shippers that are moving thousands of loads on a weekly basis. So, we're getting a lot of look right now. And again, I think this year is going to be a pretty decent-sized year for us on growth on both the carriers and the shippers. But I'm going to backtrack a little bit. What is your booth number here?
I have no clue.
Okay. So if you are out here at the show, okay.
Yeah, I'm not really great at promotion.
So I'm going to promote for you, okay? And this is being just straight out. Again, Alex and I, this is the first time we're actually meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? We wound up having a conversation on LinkedIn a few weeks ago. Like I said, this guy really dove in, spent some time with me having this conversation about, offering some objective point of views and some thoughts and, some directions that we could take to help improve our online presence. The guy doesn't want anything for it. It just took the time out. So I got to give you props, man. Like, I truly do have to give you props. You got to get a little bit of kudos for you,
thanks, man. Hey, this is my hobby, brother. People don't believe it, but this is legitimately my hobby. This is what I like to do. Well, it's a Sunday. I'd rather be here, podcasting and talking to people about potentially ways we can make the trucking industry better or worse. And hey, this is what I enjoy. So, hey, I get to do it every day. And, if it helps some people along the way, hey, just remember the little guys and treat people right. That's all I ask.
Good dude right here. So if you get a chance, you're out here at the Florida Truck Show, you got to swing past and say hello. Give him a shake.
Yeah, I love it. Appreciate you.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a great day.